Good morning to the Successful Salon Team training room. How is everyone feeling this morning? It's literally like 2 days to go. Oh my God. I'm really, really excited. And actually, last night in the 365 group, I've got to share with you all the messages of like from all the members to each other and to us and the thank yous. It made me really emotional. How did you feel, Ken?
Have you got my sound?
Yeah,
Because I think my mic's gone off. But as long as you got sound, I'll leave it.
yeah,
It's not showing up as on, but it's coming through. Okay. How was I feeling? I've shed a little tear this week.
yeah.
It's been weird. Because as like yourself, I've been working with groups all the way through this program. And I was saying kind of like, well, that's the last of these meetings because I mean, it won't be because everyone said, no, we want to carry on, but they won't carry on in the same way and about the same thing. So there was a little kind of tear, and I thought, oh, this is the last time I'm going to be doing this, but it's not. It's just going to carry on in different ways, isn't it? So, how do I feel about salons? I tell you what, Jen, if I'm absolutely honest, and I've shared this with all of the members I've been working with this week, if I'm so glad I haven't got a salon. I shouldn't really say that, should I? but but it having been. Do you remember when you go on holiday and you come back and you go back into the salon and you were a bit rusty and you were a bit crap and your blow dries first day were a bit iffy? People have been out for 3 months.
I know.
Suddenly going back to after 3 months and having to deal as a salon owner, having to deal with solving everyone's problems. Because you and I know that, okay, smart salons will have a training day, they'll have people in, they'll be testing stuff, although we know there are issues with that as well, and we can cover those today. What legally you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
But salons will go back in and the leaders will have to deal with everything. Everyone will be so they'll be busy working their nuts off doing haircuts, and then have all their team going, yeah. What? Do you know what I mean? So as a salon owner, I am so glad now that I haven't got salons because I don't envy you guys going back into the salon at all. It's going to be really difficult times. They're going to be salon owners with their heads exploding
Yeah.
next week. Really not. I tell you what has amazed me. I've been working with people all the way through this whole crisis, and then people suddenly say to me, "Oh, well, I've not done this yet," and that was something I told them to do in week 1 or week 2, and they suddenly realise they haven't got round to doing some of the things that when you feel like saying, "Well, what have you been doing for 15 weeks?" But hey,
Yeah.
so how do I feel? Relieved, Jen.
I'm really excited because I think I'm in a really unique position where I've told you all at the beginning of lockdown, just before lockdown happened, my reservationist left the building after 12 years. And I was only doing 1 day a month cutting hair anyway. And I'm not going to be doing that. I'm literally going back on reservation. So I'm not going to have the stress of cutting hair. I'm leading the ship out of the troubled waters. I'm there for the team. I can manage the guests. It's like I feel like a little hostess with the mostess going back into this.
You're not going back because you realise you'd be rubbish now, aren't you, Jen? That's why you're not going back.
I don't pretend.
You don't want Chloe showing you up.
I can't. I'm literally. I invest heavily in education, okay, but I invested so heavily in my education in terms of business that the hair didn't excite me anymore.
Yeah.
And I had to pick my lane because I just was getting crap. I really was getting crap because didn't want to do it. But I love this industry, and that's the difference. So yeah, Chloe definitely would show me up. And actually, I've got to put this on the screen because somebody's saying the same about you.
That's really cruel. I noticed they've put Facebook user. They haven't identified themselves.
No, incognito.
Listen,
Identify yourself.
this man's become the master of applying box colour during lockdown. So, you know, the skills are all there.
You said, I can't believe you've just said that second time on air. Zip. Come on, Ken. The first time you said it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, oh dear. You have to laugh at it though, Jen. You have to laugh at it because if you upgrade to a more expensive one, you get a better brush. It's a joke. Yeah. So like the let's say the French company, right? They've got different varieties that they badge up in different names, the different French names, right? You know what I mean? And it's all the same stuff in the different boxes, but if you pay more, you get a little brush. You pay a bit more, you get a pair of gloves and a little brush. It's just,
oh my god,
it's really funny.
You get a bowl in any of them?
Oh no, you don't get a bowl. No, you don't. It's all done. They're all applicator bottles because people at home just, I mean, actually, you know, they do it with an applicator. It's a bit like when we used to put on, back in the days when we did dye color and stuff like that, and it was all done with an applicator bottle for speed. It's just like that. And actually, when you start using the little brush they give you, it's so shite, right, that you're better off going back to the bottle.
So your £1.50 upgrade actually didn't get you very.
It wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it at all.
How's her hair now? Is it started to fall out yet?
No, I hate to say it, but it's fine. It's really nice. I mean, the sad thing is, she won't be going. I mean, if we want to get serious about this, because there is a serious side to this, Jane won't be going back to the salon because she said the experience that she gets, she realizes now it's not worth paying the extra money for. That's the big challenge. And I was discussing this yesterday with Clive from Charlie Brown's, you know, Clive Moorhead from Charlie Brown's. And he was saying how, you know, they've actually, him and his team have got to so focus upon the experience. And when I speak to you know, if we're going to get serious about this, because we know the fact is that there are people out there that have done box dyes that have got a good result. You know, Jane's got a great result. Her sister's got a great result. So there's two people that I know of, you know, in my family that have got a great result. Jane doesn't need to not go to the hairdresser for financial reasons. You know, it's not about money. And likewise with her sister. But what Jane has said to me, you know, I said, but so because her hairdressers have contacted her now, only just now, they've contacted her. They haven't kept in touch with her anywhere through the process. They suddenly, you know, right, do you want to make an appointment? No other process. You know, no contact during the 15 weeks, apart from now, do you want to make an appointment? And she said, well, why do I want to make an appointment, Ken? She said, I'm really not sure. She said, I'm thinking, what do I get there that I don't get here? And I've got to go there and I've got to park my car and it takes me, you know, more time. And what am I getting for my money? And that's the thing that sales have got to realize. And I said this in one of mine the other day, you and I know that the most popular colour sold anywhere in any planet is number 6. Number 6 is sold more than any other colour. Yeah. So someone's losing a shitload of 6, right? Now, if that's us and we're not using it with something else, we're just applying a number 6, you can go and buy a number 6. Yeah. So if salons are just slapping on number 6, you know what I mean? If all they're doing is root colours with no creativity, no mixing, no colour bar creation, no theatre, no nothing, then you can go and get, sadly, I know that you can get a product that will color hair. It won't give you the experience. And I was thinking this morning, I was doing you know how my brain goes, Jen, before, you know, so I'm walking around the aerodrome this morning thinking, what are Jen and I going to talk about today? And I'm thinking, I don't know where we're going today, Jen. So the brain's just going, all right, because we haven't got a plan. But anyway, so I'm thinking, we've really got to get this. And it's the same with, I spoke to someone yesterday. We got the builders show up yesterday, 7 o'clock in the morning, scaffolders. Jesus, quick, because they were supposed to come the day before and they didn't, so they came really early. Anyway, we were talking to the builder during the day long way apart, social distancing, of course. Anyway, he said, "Have you booked your restaurant on Saturday night?" And we said, we both looked at each other and went, "No." And he said, "Oh, they're going to be packed out." And I said to Jane last night, I said, "Would you have liked to have gone to a restaurant Saturday night?" And she went, "No." She said, "I like the experience we have here." So she couldn't think of, she couldn't think of somewhere that we would go that was enough of an experience that we miss.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, you've heard this many, many times before, but salons really have got to get this. You don't go to a restaurant for the food. Just like you don't go to a salon to have number 6 put on your head. It's no different. And okay, I understand we don't go to a restaurant that serves rubbish food. So, but we expect good food. And you and I have said this. It's one of the first things I ever learned in 365 25 years ago. If you think that people come to you for a haircut, you're absolutely misguided. They expect a good haircut. And now the challenge we're going to have is, if you expect people to come to you for a tint, just a tint, then they can get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? And when we come out of this, when we get through the tsunami, we're going to get back to the core clients, and the ones we need to keep and grow are the ones where we've been creative, because there's people out there now that have learned to clipper their hair. There's guys out there that will never go back to a barber's.
We've had a few say, "Don't need an appointment. I'm happy doing it myself now."
Well, I've booked an appointment next week in my barber's. Look at my hair. I'm fine.
Yeah.
With a combination of me sitting in front of a mirror, saying to Jane, "Okay, I'm lucky I can show her how to do it." I'm going, do this, do that, do this. She's cut her hands to ribbons because I make a point cut so she don't do chunks, right? So she's got all those little chops on her hands like you and I used to, but she's learnt it. And apart from finishing around the edges with the clippers, which I think she's mastered the back, but I can't get around to see, but it feels okay. And I do the sides. We've cracked it.
Yeah.
And okay, I've booked an appointment for Monday because I don't know why. I've booked it. I was passing it yesterday and I thought, I'll try they're using Booksy, because the barbers don't have appointment systems, do they? So they're using a program called Booksy, which I don't know if you were aware of. Anyway, and I want to see what they're doing, because barbers have got so much that they need to change. So the only reason really I'm going back to the barbers because I want to see how they're coping with it. Because if they shake the gown between customers, that's a miracle. So what they've got to do now is totally different.
Yeah.
But the real challenge getting out of this is, if we think people come to us for haircuts, that is so not right, even more than ever. It's the experience, and we're going to be trying to deliver that experience behind face shields, behind masks, socially distanced, without being able to give them the cappuccinos and the biscuits and all the stuff that makes the experience special. So what are people going to do? What are people going to do to make that lady that has managed to cut her own hair, has managed to colour her own hair, what's going to make them think, well, I'm going to part with 70 quid?
Yeah.
And that is really going to be, I think, the challenge long term, Jen, is we've got to get better. We've got to build a bigger experience.
I agree. I've been looking at so much about my client journey, and we're going to be using oils. Like, we really, really looked at the map of the client journey and how I want my clients to feel when they're in the salon. So I can't touch them so much, and I can't do all the little biscuits and all the things that you've said. I can host that from the front desk, take care of their next 3 appointments, make it super, super easy for them, welcome them, be that host as much as I can at the front. That's something I'm very lucky to be able to do. We can give them essential oils and give that lovely warm feeling when they come in, but there's not a lot else we can do at the minute, and I'm a very expensive salon. So this is something that's been going on and on and on in my head, because you're right. Clients, when they're leaving with a colour and a cut with us, it's like 170 something pounds, 200 quid. Like, really, if they've been doing a box colour, I have got to shine.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know that amongst your clientele, there are people that just come in for a root regrowth.
Yeah.
And it's those are the ones that some of them will come in with a great big fat regrowth, and some of them won't. And you'll be thinking, oh, what and supposing they have hit on the same color that you've been using,
Yeah.
because you've been using a 6 or 7 or a 5 or 4, whatever, and they've managed to match it, or they're close enough that it doesn't make that much difference. What are you going to do that's going to blow them away? It's going to make them go, yeah, I want to pay that, because they're used to not passing with it, and a lot of people out there are getting by.
Yeah.
So we've got to up our games, I think,
Yeah.
because as you and I know, and I still think there's many salons out there that haven't grasped this, our prices have got to go up. There was a big article in the Sunday papers about, I don't know if I still got it. I've been showing our members on the Zooms a couple of days. I turned around, it's not there. There was a big article about, how prices are going to go up in hairdressing. And they saying, expect your haircut to cost more. And there was one salon that had put, I think, funny enough, I shared this in the Zoom meeting. I said, and someone said, oh, they must have been listening to you, Ken. And you'll know from Masterclass, when I talk about what you need to charge for a haircut. They had changed their price from 30 to 55.
Oh, they were listening then.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, what masterclass were they on? We want to get signed up.
Yeah, who are they?
But, they've gone, hey, look, whether they've heard us somewhere saying, what you need to charge for a haircut, they've changed. They've gone, we were 30, we're now going 55. Now, there'll be people listening to this that will go, oh, Jesus, you can't do that. But you and I know, and actually you've done it because you've shared your journey. You and I know that there are salons that, unless they do that, they won't have a salon in a year's time. It just won't exist. So there are people that are going, this is a great opportunity to charge what we should be charging for the service that we should be delivering. Others will be cowardly and going, we can't raise our prices, and they will be no better off at the end of this. They will have learned nothing during those 12 weeks. Absolutely nothing.
No.
And I thought it was quite interesting to see this salon that was changing from 30 to 55. Bold move, but they'll either sink or swim. But on a £30 haircut, they were sinking, weren't they, Jen?
Yeah, they were. That is my journey, isn't it? That is exactly my journey. I was £29. Most of them was having a 50% discount. I was thinking, Ken said, sort your life out. You've got to sort your prices out, or else you're just going to die. And we did. And so now in Ramsgate, you can get a haircut from anywhere between £15 in a salon and £50. And we start at 67. That's our cheapest. Well, actually, it's 68 now. We start at 68. So, and then there's a £3 surcharge on top of that. A regrowth in my salon is £73. I can't be putting, my team cannot be going back for a 6. They can't.
No, they can't, can they? I got that for £9.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't even £9. I think £7 was the dearest we paid for a box colour.
So I'm like,
you can get
that.
You can get them for 5 or 6. And I have to say, I tell you what, I have been even worse, Jen. I'm going to confess all now.
Oh God, you're live.
I know, but you know what? No one can get me. I even bought a box colour online.
Ken!
I didn't even buy it from a shop. I've been so bad during this time. It is interesting. People have got to wake up and smell the roses. And I had a guy yesterday phone me up. He'd obviously been seeing some of the stuff that I've been doing during this, and he knows, like many people in the industry, most people know someone that at some stage their life has been touched by 365, whether they've watched a 365 salon or know someone, or they've, anywhere, they just somehow it sneaks into people's lives somewhere. And he said, oh, I used to work with a guy, I know a guy, and he's running a barber shop, and he was thinking about, coming and learning about business, how to run a business, because he's realized that, he said, where I am, and it transpires in the conversation that he's literally 2 miles from me. What are the odds of that, Jen?
Yeah, amazing.
Because I said to him, well, you know, where I am, I said, and I live in South London, in Kenley, you probably won't know. He went, Kenley? I'm down the road in Warningham. He's literally 2 or 3 miles away, right? Nothing. And he said, where I am, there's just 4, 5, 6 barbers.
Yeah.
And that's like my barber. There's 4 of them in a row, and there's 2 salons that own 2 barbers each. So they've got like owner 1, then owner 2, then owner 1, and round the corner owner 2. So there's 4 shops within serious spitting distance, owned by 2 people. 4 barbers owned by 2 people. Now, what makes them? All they're doing is spreading stuff. They're not generating any business, and none of them have gone, we're going to blow this away.
No. And they've got 2 rates.
They've not had the guts to go, right, we're going to go up market. We're going to, you know, it's only this crisis that's forced them to do appointments.
Yeah.
For God's sake, it's crazy. So hopefully we'll get him on board afterwards, Jen, and we'll be working with him, helping him to create. You know, I've had one guy who's a member who's got a lady salon and Paul Leonard, and he's already creating a 2nd floor in his salon that's VIP, and with a price double what they're charging downstairs. And he said to me, we're going to be so busy, Ken. He said, I'm thinking maybe for the first few weeks letting people from downstairs go upstairs. And I went, don't you dare. Don't you let them have the VIP experience at the cheap price.
No, because they will not pay it then. They won't accept it.
I said, you just devalue it from square one. But this guy yesterday, and you've heard me say this guy yesterday was saying, well, the only thing I'm not sure whether, and I know where he is. And he said, I'm not sure whether people around here will pay it. I said, oh, just stand outside your shop and watch the cars. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, stand outside and watch the cars. He said, what do you mean? I said, watch the cars. I said, every now and again, a top line EMG Merc or Porsche or whatever will go past. And I know where he is, so I won't have to wait long. And I said, all those people are the customers you want. Don't worry about the Fiestas and the Ladas, and don't worry about those. You just got to find where that bloke with the Merc lives. It's a bit like you in the suit. You've got to find out where the Merc lives, find out where the Porsche lives, metaphorically speaking, because we don't want to go stalking people and knocking on their doors. But you've got to get to the people in the right way that are prepared to pay the right price. Although, can you imagine that, Jen? I've just said that. It's really strange. Can you imagine if someone come around and knocked on my door and they said, we are creating a new VIP barber with a VIP experience, appointment only.
Yeah.
And they knocked on my door, I put a lot leaflet through, I would be there in a flash.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So maybe you should go and knock on the right doors. Who knows?
Well, you all know in your local town where the prestigious
Correct.
And you can absolutely in Facebook pin drop straight into the and target everyone that's right. So it's not difficult to do.
Sorry, I'm hoping Jo's going to pick this up. I think she has. Yeah. The trouble is, unless I unplug this phone,
the bass rings.
Yeah, the bass rings. And when I unplug it, shush, I forget to plug it back in, and then Jane doesn't get any phone calls. And then she goes, there's something wrong with the phone. And I think, oh, shit, I unplugged it.
Then you are in trouble. I just
don't tell her that.
Something that you said earlier about hopefully he'll start in with 365. And Ken and I had a little chat a little while ago, and I haven't mentioned it up until now, but I think we're all going to be moving off in our different directions soon. And this club will stay open. We will be moving it to the evenings, and we'll still be streaming to you, so please don't worry about that. But Ken's very kindly said that we can do a day and invite you all to 365 to come and see what we do and learn a bit about us. And I'm so excited because you actually get to meet my business dad and me in the flesh, and we get to just tell you all about what we do and what makes 365 such a magical, unique club. So watch out for that. If you would like an email, please drop your email in the comments, and I can give them. Ken can take them all, and he can email you all and get you all in on the day that we do. So that would be. I'm so excited. I think that should be the first class we do back, Ken.
It will be, and I think there's. I've also we're thinking about how we can deliver that masterclass online initially, until we can get back in the room, because the trouble is not just people wanting to come, it's being allowed to host it. I can't, as you know, we've just, during this close down, we've just moved to new offices. So we've got some fabulous new education facilities, but at the moment our parent company is saying no, you can't use them because, you know, of security. So I'm hoping it's not going to be too long till we're back in a room. We're planning, and I have to say, our thinking is we probably won't be back to BBs in the way you and I know them until next year. Actually, on my other computer, as I sit here looking, there's a whole sheet of how we're digitalizing the program as well, so we can deliver it in different ways to different people. So there's whole new plans being worked on as we speak. In fact, I was doing it before I spoke to you, and I nearly forgot that I was due to be speaking to you.
Oh, I know.
And I'll be yeah, I was a bit late today, wasn't I? Yeah. I bet you were thinking, where is he? Where is he?
I know you're lastminute.com, but I was
no, that was last minute even for me. I forgot to set an alarm. But yeah, so we'll be doing things in different ways. But we want to get people involved with the program as fast as possible, because we know, you know, I've seen during this period, there's such a need for what we do out there. It's not changed. You know, hairdressers are skilled, beautiful, wonderful people, but the majority of us aren't good at business.
No.
You know, I wasn't when I joined 365. You weren't when you joined 365. But Jesus, when I think of how your business has changed and how my business has changed over the years, and I got through, you know, we got a recession kind of coming our way. I've done 2 of those in the past, and if it wasn't for 365, I wouldn't have got through them. And I know that our members, the majority of our members, will get through this without any problems. Some will have problems, but I can't see many going out of business. I can see many salons going out of business through this. Not tomorrow, they'll go out of business in 12 months' time.
I agree. I'm just going to put this up on the screen because it's very sad, and I just want to share this with you. I have actually sold my salon in lockdown because of all the reasons you have discussed. Feel guilty I've passed the hot potato, but I'm concerned about the bounce back.
Well, if you, I don't know who this is. I hate talking to people without a name.
I know.
Not because I want to find out who you are, but just because I can then call you Fred instead of Facebook user. But actually, if you're feeling guilty, you've passed on the hot potato. Don't. If you sold your salon, don't worry about what happens to it, because that's the whole purpose of selling a salon. When you own a salon, you take on board all the angst and tension and stress. This is why it disappoints me that so many salon owners don't get the rewards that they justify for the angst. I tell you what, once you've got rid of that, if it wasn't working smoothly, just let it go. Just let it go. Don't give it another thought. Don't worry about the people that are there now. Don't worry about who's owning it now. Just move on. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. All I would say is I think you're blooming lucky to have managed to sell it during lockdown.
Yeah.
Because to be quite honest, I would find it very hard to value a business during lockdown. So whoever that particular Facebook user is, just breathe a sigh of relief and move on. Don't worry about it. Don't be concerned. When they say concerned about the bounce back, if they're concerned about the bounce back of that salon, don't move on. Seriously, move on. Don't sell something and then still stress about it. Jesus, you know, I did that with my salons because I sold it to people that work for me. So I spent months and years worrying about them, and 2 of them flushed them down the toilet, as you know. Yeah. 2 of them. I mean, I saw their business just go whoosh like that because they didn't get it. They didn't get it. Anyway, sorry for that user, but don't worry about it. Just sleep at night.
There's some email addresses on here as well, Ken. So if you can go and pick them up afterwards.
Oh, you know I don't know how to do that, Jen.
Can I email them to you?
Yes, please. I've only just put the comments up. Get a life. I'm thinking nobody's commenting today, but they're there.
They're there. They are there. So we I was skimming over something with Chloe the other day, and I was saying I was trying to find out what's going on in our industry. I've had one of my team members feel that they're unsafe to come back to work and that they don't want to come back to work. And I know many other salon owners have had team members quit or don't want to come back, and there's been challenges for other people as well. So I'm very honest and open, and I share my challenges. I've had somebody say that they don't want to come back and they're not coming back. And then the race was on to think, oh shit, we've just booked all these clients in. Like Chloe asked her before we booked the clients in, are you coming back? Yes, I am. She's obviously changed her mind afterwards. And now we've got these clients to move, and we're still getting through phone calls. I was like, oh my God. But also we need someone to step in. And the reason why we asked these questions the other day was because we were really, like, I don't know, surprised at people that wanted to come to work for us and people that didn't, that we thought would do, and what's going on. And so we were asking some questions about what makes people go self-employed. And I know you picked up on that. You dipped in and dipped back out again. So let's have a little chat about self-employment and how some salons.
Okay, I've just quickly seen there, Jen. Someone said, do we need a screen on our reception desk? Yes, I would definitely put that. We'll pick up any others later. That was just one I happened to see. Okay, there's two things there. Firstly, there's the fact that people have been saying to me, even though there aren't many times when I blow my own trumpet, but I will now. I predicted ages ago that the closer we got to reopening, the more we would find resistance or concerns from our team. And so when we've had people resigning, like, yesterday and the day before and whatever, as soon as you told them to come back to work, people said, oh, and I said, you should have been prepared for this.
Yeah.
No one is going to resign when they know they don't have to. People have only had to resign. Now they know they've got to come off furlough and go back to work. So that's why you haven't heard anything now. So the fact that you take it you take it personally, don't. No. If you had been in their position, you wouldn't have done anything different. You'd have waited till you had to be in the salon, then you go, no, I'm not coming back.
Can't do it.
So just try and let that wash over you. I've been in the business long enough and had people, I can't think of any other expression, so forgive me, shit on me enough to know that it's just life. True, because we think that's poor behavior. They don't, so don't worry about it. It's not personal. They've had time to think about what they do. They've had time to see and think about other options. I've told you many times, Jen, and salon owners don't get this. People leave you for opportunities, and during lockdown, they've been looking at opportunities. Mm-hmm. People don't leave you. The only reason someone leaves you normally is for, apart from an opportunity, is having a child, so maternity or relocation. Any other thing after that is an opportunity that you've not created. Yeah. So if people leave you for an opportunity, and you really need to grasp that, anyone out there that's lost a team member, unless you've pissed them off, which is your own silly fault, if they've moved somewhere else, it's because they've seen an opportunity that you're not creating. Okay, so treat your team right, and then create opportunities, because the self-employment thing, right, is a perceived opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so when people go self-employed, they see it as an opportunity to earn more money. They see it as an opportunity for more freedom. They see it as an opportunity for, they know, they don't understand it. Okay, what we've got to do as salon owners is make the opportunities with us better. If there's an opportunity to earn more money elsewhere, then we need to create the opportunity to earn that same money with us. It's a vicious circle, Jen. I started talking about this, 18 months, 2 years ago. Yep. You need to create the right service, the right price, to get the right team, to create the right opportunities. To create the right opportunity, it's a circle. It goes round and round and round and round and round. But if you're not rewarding your team in the right way, then they'll look elsewhere. Now, if you're not rewarding them in the right way, 9 times out of 10, it's the same old thing. You're not charging the right price to be able to offer the right rewards. Now, I can't reward a good stylist in the way that they could get if they work for themselves if I'm only charging £30 for a haircut. If I'm Darren Fowler and I'm charging £100 for a haircut, and a stylist working for me every time they do a haircut is getting 30, 40 quid, they're getting paid out, they're cut out of the haircut, then why would they go elsewhere?
Yeah.
Now, getting back to what we've got to charge in the salon, because it joins up, Jen. The thing about all of this, you're getting me fired up again. The thing about all of this is it joins up, and people don't bloody get it.
No.
It joins up. If we deliver the right quality of experience, we can charge the right price. If we charge the right price, we can get the right team to deliver the right quality of experience. It all joins up.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is, it's the team members that don't want to charge the money. They're too afraid. They don't.
Correct.
Like, oh my God.
But then that's that, Jen. You're going to get me fired up again, because we know the answers to all this stuff.
We do.
Well, yeah, but again, it's not rocket science. You and I know that the reason stylists don't understand the value of a guest is because most of them don't understand how they get paid.
Yeah.
True. Because 99 times out of 100, the salons that join us at 365 have got overcomplicated pay structures that 9 times out of 10 they don't understand. Because they got them from the person that sold them the business. They got it from the person that they work for. And I sit down with someone and I go, so how does tell me how that works? And they go, I don't know. The bookkeeper does it. Well, how does the bookkeeper know what to do? I would have got before time. And you say to them, and they go, well, the stylists understand it. And then you sit down with the stylist and you go, do you understand how your pay's calculated? And they go, not an idea, not a clue. So all they look at is their net take home, and they don't understand the connection between you said, I pointed at you, but you're up there, aren't you? Because you're on the screen. I can't go down there. I've got to go up here. You said earlier on, Jen, right? You talked about the £170 bill. Now, as a stylist working in your salon, I'd be going, how much of that is mine?
Yeah.
And as soon as I get that connection, I go, oh, why would I discount it?
Yeah.
So any stylist that doesn't charge for a service, doesn't charge for an extra product, doesn't charge for a treatment, or discounts or whatever, doesn't understand how they earn money. Otherwise, if they do, they're stupid. And I've never spoken to a stylist and gone, would you like more money? And them say no. So just get a life. Salons have got to open up about the way they pay people, and pay people so openly that a stylist can understand exactly. You and I know in our systems, a stylist has total control over what they earn. Yeah. You've heard me tell this story many, many times, Jen, and there are people on here today that have heard it. My team, when I had my salons, and I used to own 3 salons, they never came to me and asked for a pay rise because they knew exactly what the answer would be. It's in your control. Don't come to me and say you don't want to. If you want to be promoted, do what you need to do to get promoted, because we set strict promotion criteria so people know how they can go up. So if you know that, you know what you've got to do. Now, if you don't do it, and I had one guy, you've heard about Steve, that was with me for, must be 15 years. Yeah. Never got on my top level, because to get on the top level, there was one promotion criteria that he never achieved. He could have, but he never did, because he didn't want to. And so he never complained about not being on the top level, because on that top level, you've got to be so squeaky clean and do it right. Yeah. Further down, it's not so important. But when you're up there at the top to be shot at and fired, you've got to be squeaky, right? And you know how Mandy changed that. Some of you would know, we won't go into that, but how she worked on her care factor, because she's at the top and she said, if I'm going to be up here, I've got to get it right. Yeah. Now, if people know how they can get promoted and they understand how they get paid, then why would they ask for a pay rise? Why would they complain when prices go up? We used to have a price increase every year on the same date every year. So there was an automatic pay increase every year. And then they had the options, the opportunities, not options, the wrong word there, the opportunities to earn money all year round. What did I say when I started this? Opportunities. People think that self-employment, you thought I'd gone off track there, didn't you? I've come around. Huh? People think that self-employment is providing different opportunities. It's not. You said about flexibility, because I heard you say about, if someone wanted a more flexible life, we can make that work. The things that they don't understand when they go self-employed is because salons don't. Oh, you can see I'm getting frustrated, can't you? I'll behave.
Right.
That's my pulling my hair out, mum. Because salons don't operate self-employment necessarily complying with the law. You can't train anyone when they're self-employed. You can't grow them. You can't create them. You can't nurture them. You can not have a culture. There's so much you can't do. But you would never see, guys like Aaron Fowler and Nicky Clark and people. They wouldn't have a massive team of self-employed people because how do they create the culture? How do they control what goes on? How do they structure their business? True self-employed people have total control over what they do, the customers they serve, the prices they charge, the products they use, the hours they work, the appointment times. They have control over anything. Because, unfortunately, most of them don't understand that, salon owners make them do stuff that, in fact, they've got no right to make them do at all. And this will be sorted out, I reckon, in the future because the government will start looking at self-employed now. And actually, anyone out there that was self-employed, when they see the support that employed stylists have had during this furloughing, you haven't had employed stylists having to go and do home haircuts. They may have done them, but they haven't had to because they've had a decent sum of money coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jen.
It's okay.
I feel like I've exploded.
I know what buttons to press.
I just don't get it, Jen. As a stylist, I don't get it. Why would I go self-employed when I can work for someone like you that's going to provide me a great environment, that's going to provide me education and training and nurturing and support and a pension scheme and love? And why would I go and cut hair in people's kitchens?
I know.
That's not what I trained to do.
I know. I watched the father of my children actually is with a lady that used to work for me. So she used to work for me in my salon and now they're together and they didn't do anything wrong. We'd split up. She'd split up with her husband and they've ended up getting together and they got a salon up the road from me, literally like a stone's throw. And for years, I mean, you'll remember me saying to you, like, Nikki really needs to come to 365. I can see the salon going down and I'm like, oh my God, please just come to 365. Like, you really need to learn how to run this business. And I'm not going to lie, she is one of the best hairdressers in Ramsgate. She's so good. Credit where credit's due, an amazing, amazing hairdresser. And she's charging not even £30 cutting hair in people's kitchens. And it is sick.
How can she not understand what she's worth? It's like, why is it when people leave a salon? This is a crazy one. Because the only time I would understand when someone wanted to be self-employed is when they want to get their own salon. Okay. Yeah. But that, again, if I've got someone working for me that's brilliant and they want their own salon, why don't I go into business with them? Why don't we make this? Because why have they got to go and learn the mistakes I made and learn the stuff that I learned when we could work together? So there should be more partnerships and things out there, I believe. And with the right people, it really works. But why do people go and open a business? So someone's working for you, charging £170 for a service. They then go and open their own salon, and then they charge 130 quid.
They don't even charge that.
And you say, well, why have you done that? And they go, well, because you're the same person doing the same service. And so people don't value themselves. Actually, in their heads, they've done what we're talking about. They've gone, well, I can't charge that because I'm not Obsessions.
Yeah.
So they get it, that there's a value to the brand, there's a value to the quality of the brand, but they don't think they can justify it themselves. So they go off and charge less. And you think, oh, I don't get it. Surely, if I'm going to go and set up my own business, I want to be better. Yeah. I'm not going to leave you because I want to go and be worse than you. The only time I would leave you if I worked for you, Jen, was when I thought, do you know what, I can do it better than Jen, and I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and this. I wouldn't trot down the road and be cheaper. Why would I want to do that? I want to be the best.
Yeah.
I don't want to be second best. But hey, so the self-employed thing, I really hope that when we come out of this, a lot of people will be thinking differently. and the government will certainly be looking at it. Absolutely.
Well, there's been somebody's just put on one of the comments, so many self-employed only work for cash and claim benefits. People can't see the bigger picture. Well, the problem is now they've all had to go register self-employed to get the self-employed grant. So the government know who you are now. So there's none of that going to be going on because they can't. They're watched. Part of the whole conspiracy theory in my head was to get tabs on everybody. Like, because the government now absolutely
hold on. So wait a minute, let me get this. So coronavirus doesn't exist. It's just a conspiracy theory to get a giant database going. Is that what it is?
I think it exists, but I think they do it in a lab.
Yeah, but it's actually no worse than a common cold, is it, Jen? No, it's just people have just had a sneeze and I always thought you were nuts. Now I know you're nuts.
I do. I think there's a whole conspiracy theory. I don't know what the conspiracy theory is, but I think there's something going on there. But they've absolutely now got everyone on a database, and they know who's self-employed, who's business owners. You know, if you've got people that are now registering as self-employed and they're being asked where they work, they've given the business address, and now they know what salons have got self-employed people in there, which means they can rock up and say, are these people truly self-employed? You know, do they have their own payment system coming in, their own PDQ machine? Are they using your telephone line? Are they being told when they can and cannot work? Like, really?
Well, it's like when we first went into this, and you know, people that were self-employed and directors of limited companies, they started complaining because they weren't getting the same. But as I said, and I said this very early on, I said, you know what? People set up limited companies and pay themselves dividends for a reason. They do it because it saves them tax. So you can't take that in and then expect this back in this hand. How this whole system worked was people that paid tax at the right level got money back. Now, people that weren't paying tax at the same level didn't get the same support. And do you know what? I'm okay with that. I get that, and I kind of think, you know, and I said to people, you know, we had many members said, well, what am I going to do? No, I've only been paying myself this amount through the books to cover NI, and the rest is dividends. Dividends weren't included. And I said, well, you paid dividends because you were paying less tax on it. Yeah. So what have you done? Because at the end of the day, a pound's a pound. It's what happens to the bits of that pound that matter. If you paid less out of your pound in tax, what did you do with that bit that you gained? Now, all the salons that didn't have any money, that haven't got any savings, that didn't have any, what I now call a war chest, they're thinking, I need a war chest, because Leicester is going to happen in more places than just Leicester. So anyone out there at the moment that's breathing a sigh of relief, you know, I know salons in Leicester. Could you imagine last week you phone up all your customers, get them all booked in, and then suddenly they're in lockdown again? Oh, my heart goes out to them. But if we think Leicester's going to be an isolated incident, it's not.
No.
So, and if we're not careful, people will get, those guys in Leicester now will get, if they're not careful, they'll get even more in debt. Because I bet they've spent up to when they thought they were going to open. So they're thinking, we've got money coming in next week.
Yeah.
The other side of this is the people that will next week see their tills, pound notes, well, credit card slip, you know, money coming out their ear holes. But that won't be there in 12 weeks' time.
No.
And people have got to be aware of that. It's going to go whoosh like that.
Yeah.
All we've got is those people, because if we'd lost people for, say, 6 weeks, if we'd only shut for 6 weeks, then all those people would have buffered up. Okay. But now what we've got is we've lost 3 months' income. We're only going to get probably a month's worth back. Do you get what I mean? Because this is sandwiched up. So we've lost that 6 week visit and that 6 week visit, because when we get back here, we'll just get another 6 week visit. So we've still lost probably 2 equivalent visits, even if we get all the last 6 weeks jammed in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we won't get a third of the year's income back. That won't happen. And I don't know many businesses, and this is why we're seeing now big companies going, okay, it's time to open the doors we know this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
You know, Upper Crust and people like that, and you know, John Lewis, and they're going, okay, we have businesses that were just there, and now we know that they're never going to get where you wanted. So, do you know what? We will shut the doors.
Yeah, and they are.
They are, and it's scary, and we're going to see it a lot. And we're going to see a lot of salons. Sadly, I think we'll see salons go. My only hope is that it's that old, the cream rise to the top.
Yeah.
You know, the good guys will survive. The guys that have done it right, the guys that, because, and actually, this is why what I quite liked about that person that went, we're going to go from 30 to 55, is they've gone, do you know what? People are going to want us now.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay the right price for our services. If garages have been able to charge £100 an hour for labour for years, and yet their salons are still charging 30 quid for labour plus parts, including VAT, including, if you think of an hour's labour in a garage, it's plus parts and plus VAT. An hour's labour in a lot of salons is including parts and including VAT and coffee and refreshments and God knows what else. And yet we still scared of charging the same price as a mechanic. It's stupid.
It is.
Oh, Jen, look how long we've been rabbiting.
You?
Yeah, me. It's end of lockdown. I've got unleashed fever because I'm don't know what I'm going to do next week. All the people I've been talking to won't be there next week.
So, what's your plan? Are you going back into the offices? How's it looking for you?
No, I don't know when I'll be back in the office. To be quite honest, Jen, our company is certainly. For the foreseeable future, the plan is to keep as many people working. Hence this, right? This is now.
I got so excited this morning.
I only got it on Tuesday. It's like a new toy. Just before, this is why I was so close to the 10 o'clock today. Wow. I suddenly thought, I haven't put my banner up. So I put my banner up. And I think when I first logged on, I was still getting in the right position, wasn't I? Anyway, the plan is for those people that can work at home to work at home. And of course, we've discovered new ways to work with people. And when you think of what I do, apart from when we're in a classroom, I don't need to be in an office. I can do that here. I've been working. You know that I'm semi-retired now. I actually only officially work 2 days of the week. I've been working much more than that at the moment, and Jane's been nagging me like mad. She goes, when this is all over, will our life go back to normal? So yes, I'm going to try and get back to the work-life balance that I've spent 68 years trying to get to. But the downside of that is there's a whole new world that we need to create, and that's going to take me, my team, and you a lot of time to create.
Yeah.
Because we've got lots of online content to produce and stuff like that. But it's exciting. So what is me? I think the next couple of weeks will calm down. I'm off to Germany in August to see my grandchild and my daughter and my son-in-law. I'm hoping to get out. I've got a house in Spain. I've not been down there all year. I'm hoping to get down there. I probably won't be going down there till October because I won't go down in August. There'll be all the holiday makers down there. Well, I hope they are, because where my place is in Spain, it's quite a small little town, and I'm worried that many of the lovely shops and restaurants will have gone out of business.
Yeah.
They rely upon that season that won't be there this year. So I hope that's not harmed too bad. And it's going to calm down for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back to, I won't say back to normal. We will back to be something new. I'm kind of a bit like you. I'm staying out of people's hair next week.
Yeah.
They won't want to see me every day. They won't want. I'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 bulletins during the week to see how people are going and the catch up at the end of the week, and then we'll settle into a new rhythm. Because sadly they've got to work, Jen, so they won't want to see you at 10 o'clock or me at 10 o'clock every day. They'll be cutting punters.
I know. I'm either going to go first thing in the morning for a bit of power up session, or last thing at night for a glass of wine with you all. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet.
Well, I think I will probably go, because certainly with the Zoomers, I will probably go the end of the day, and I think, and on Monday or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to set.
Then
Sorry,
we'll have to get our times in sync.
Yeah, we do have to get in sync, because you're part of one. You're one of my groups, so don't think you're getting out of it. Where do you think? Hold on, everybody that's watching. Where do you think she gets all this stuff from? No, that is so not true. That is so not true. What I love about working with Jen is Jen has a whole raft of skill sets that I don't have, a whole raft of knowledge that I don't have. And I'm a great believer in working with people that have skills I don't have, instead of trying to learn their skills. Because actually, if you're trying to learn someone's skills that's really good, and this is important, this is a bit of smoke, Jen, so take this right. If you're trying to learn the skills of someone that's really good, they will always be better than you. Because a smart educator, a smart person, will constantly learn. So you will have always been learning. And I learned this with 365, and I know with people that have left 365, or coaches that have left us, they end up teaching what we taught. Not what they end up coaching what we coached last year. So the reason I work with Jen and not try and do what Jen does is because Jen will always be one step ahead of me. So if I tried to coach what Jen coached, mine would always be one step behind, and she knows that I don't like that. I don't want to be one step behind. So I would much rather work with Jen than work against Jen or try and do what Jen does. It's far better to have wonderful people working together, I think. Don't you, Jen?
So well.
So, yeah, we do. People don't always get us, but it works, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they do think we're a bit mad, but
a bit bonkers. Yeah, that's life.
Saying, can we have wine in the Zoomers, please, Ken?
Can we have wine in the Zoom? Yeah, if we do it at the right time of day. Actually, it's funny. My son-in-law in Germany won't drink alcohol before 5 o'clock.
Where did you find him?
I didn't, sadly. My daughter found him. And I like him. I love him. He's a great, but you offer him a drink 4:30, Pim's o'clock, he's 5 for him. None of this lunchtime Pim's. Strange. Anyway, yes, we could do wine in the evening, couldn't we? I just have to make sure I don't drink the wine before I start the Zoom meeting, because one glass goes straight to my little tiny pea brain.
It does. And then he gets all giddy.
So actually, what I will say to all you guys watching this and that have been working with Jen, just get back in there, do the best you can, but above all else, stay safe. I've been saying to people in my groups I've been working with, you'll be desperate to fit everybody in. Don't compromise your standards. Don't compromise your quality. Don't do things that your integrity tells you that you shouldn't be doing just to get the quick buck. Long term, it's not worth it. It's absolutely not worth it. Carry on delivering the quality that you need to do, and be prepared to say no. There will be people coming into your salons asking you to do things that you know you shouldn't do. Say no.
Yeah.
Have integrity. Integrity is so important in business. What have you done?
That's my phone ringing again. Someone's now fed up. They can't get.
Now, what I want to know, Jen, is have you moved to another part of your bedroom, or are you in another room?
No, I'm still in the same. I've just switched sides.
Oh, right, okay. Threw me the other day when you were in the salon.
Can you see it?
Oh yeah, okay. Shall I mess everybody? I'm going to make everyone. So yeah, I thought you'd move the furniture around in your bedroom, Jen, and it wasn't like I know it.
No. Yeah.
There'll be people out there going, "Did you hear that?"
Bloody Ramsgate.
We love a bit of scandal, Jen, don't we?
We do.
Life with the old dog, yeah, that's what I say. Anyway, take care. All right.
We will. Thank you for sharing not only today with us, but this whole journey, Ken.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
It's been tough for everybody, and I do kind of feel like gung ho, like I said to someone the other day, I feel like my job is done. It's not. It's a new job is just starting. But I do feel like we're at the end of something
Profound.
quite unusual, quite strange, quite different. But hey, good luck to everybody in the weeks ahead. And those of you that are members of 365, I've said to you all, you know how to get me, you know how to get Jen, you know, any help you need, you just pick up the phone or email, and we're there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Guys, take care. Have a wonderful day. 2 days left. Come on, we're in the home run now. Yeah, we will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Ken.
Bye, darling.